In this video tutorial, we will be talking about how to use the extend and trim commands. So open up your Student Edit Commands worksheet and make sure the student layer is broadcasting, and then we will zoom into the extend trim area. We can find the extend trim commands in the modify menu of the home ribbon, and trim and extend are together. Trim is on top, extend is beneath. So let's use the extend first. So when you use the extend command, the first thing AutoCAD asks you is select boundary edges. So we're wanting to take these lines and extend them to this boundary edge, but we're also going to extend this line to this boundary edge as well. So that's a boundary edge and that's a boundary edge. To tell AutoCAD you're done selecting boundary edges, you can right click or hit enter, either one. Once you do that, it then says select object to extend. So I'm going to click on these, but I'm not just going to click on them. I'm going to hold my left mouse button down and with that green arrow select them all. So I got them all at once, and then I'll select that one right there. So I was able to do it much quicker than going through and picking each individual line. Now we'll go back to the extend command by hitting the space bar, and here's our boundary edge. Right click or hit enter to say I'm done selecting boundary edges, and then click on what you want to extend, and then hit enter when you're done. Now we're going to go up to the trim command, and the trim command first asks you to select cutting edges, or what are the lines we're going to use to cut what we're trimming. So once you select your boundary edges, you right click or hit enter, and then you click on what you want to get rid of. So now I'll right click and hit enter, or you can hit the enter key on the keyboard. So now our object looks like the little one down here. Okay, I'm going to undo that. I'm going to go back to the trim command. If I right click before I select my cutting edges, every line on the drawing becomes a cutting edge. So now I just have to click here and click there, and I don't have to pick my cutting edges. Alright, let's go down here to this trim option. We want to make this drawing looks like that drawing. So I'll go back to the trim command. If I right click, every line becomes a cutting edge. I can pick on these individually, but why do that when I can just do my green window? And then the last trim area, we want to make this geometry look like this smaller one. So I'll go back to the trim command. If I right click, every line becomes a cutting edge. These are a little trickier to get to. I can use a fence option to create a polygon, but this is pretty much just as quick. And so that is how you use the trim command and extend command.